Well, anti-Wall Street protesters in the U.S. state of Washington are planning a statewide protest against retail giant Walmart. Protesters in Seattle, Tacoma, Bellingham and Everett will take part in the Occupy movement this Friday. They're protesting against Walmart's recent plans to cut employee health care. The retail giant is the largest corporation in the world. It reported more than $14 billion in profits last year. Yet, Walmart has reduced company contributions to employee health savings by 50%. It's also increased healthcare premiums from 17% to more than 60%. The retail giant employs more than 2.1 million people worldwide. The average Walmart worker makes less than $9 an hour. The CEO of the company reportedly makes close to $9,000 an hour. Well, Con Hallinan with the Foreign Policy in Focus joins me live on the phone from Berkeley, California. Welcome to the program, sir. Mr. Hallinan, the protesters are now going after big names such as Walmart. Where is it all headed? What is becoming of America?
Well, actually, I think it's a very important development because what's happened is that early on, the Occupy movements got some support from trade union organizations. Particularly communication workers, public workers, some industrial workers, etc. And basically what this is that this is kind of a payback. In other words, what the Occupy Wall Street movement is doing is that they're turning around and they're saying, well, okay, we're going to do something very practical now to try and close the gap, the wealth gap in the United States, and that Walmart is part of what has helped produce this wealth gap with low wages and bad working conditions, with inadequate health care, etc. So it's a very important and very interesting kind of development, and it indicates that Occupy Wall Street is sort of making a major change in direction at this point. It'll be very interesting to see where it goes from here.
And of course, Mr. Hallinan, I mean, besides the protests, let's take a look at the police reaction towards them. What is your assessment of how the police have been reacting? I mean, this recent case of a pregnant woman being beaten by the police, leading to a miscarriage, or other instances of people being critically injured?
Well, there's really been a very strong reaction to not just the police beatings, because these have happened across the country. Right here in Berkeley, California, we had an incident of it. There's, excuse me, currently an incident that happened in Davis, California, the place about 100 miles north of here, where the policemen used pepper spray on peaceful protesters who were just sitting down with their arms linked. And then there has been such a kind of outrage at this use of pepper spray, which has been widely used now in against demonstrators in the United States, that people are beginning to investigate this pepper spray. They're finding out it's very, very toxic. It's very, very dangerous. There's no question that the police are attempting to use straight-out violence and intimidation. I don't think it's going to work, and in fact, it backfired very badly in Davis. The chancellor of the university is on the verge of having to resign. Two of the police officers that did it have been put on leave, and there's an investigation both at the campus and a statewide level of the use of this.
And it's interesting that to see that the U.S. government was criticizing these Arab nations which have been experiencing revolutions for the police brutality against them. And what we're seeing in America is quite the opposite.
Well, there's, again, you know, the heavy use of gas, the heavy use of pepper spray, the heavy use of billy clubs, arrests, you know, thousands and thousands of people have been arrested, 200 right here in Berkeley recently, 250 in Oakland a while ago. Those kinds of tactics have, you know, the government pays no attention to that. It's just when they happen to disagree with you that they protest these things. And I think what you're seeing, however, is that you really are seeing a reaction against the use of police and against the use of gas and pepper spray on clearly nonviolent protesters, and I think that's becoming quite widespread at this point. I think you're going to see a kind of a backing up at this point on the part of the police.
All right, we'll leave it there. Con Hallinan with Foreign Policy in Focus. Many thanks there.